I think one point that I want to convey to the world out there is that the families go through the highest amount of stress.
Welcome to the Nutrition Revolution, where food isn't just fuel, it's medicine, it's transformation, it's life-changing. I'm your beloved nutritionist, Ryan Fernando, and in this show, we're tearing down myths, breaking barriers, and diving deep into real stories of how nutrition creates an impact. In each episode, one of my expert dietitians from the Qua Nutrition signature clinics and one of their incredible clients, people who've experienced the power of food in ways they've never imagined, sit down to unwind with us. Together, they've unpacked their journeys, the science behind their breakthroughs, and the mindset shifts that turns struggles into strength. Because here's the truth, what you eat doesn't change your body, it changes your energy, your focus, and your future. So whether you're fighting a health battle, chasing peak performance, or just curious about the magic of real nutrition, you are in the right place. This is the Nutrition Revolution, and it's time to rethink what's possible.
Dear Lord, thank you for the moment of bringing all of us together here in this room. Thank you for the people in this room. You allow us to do things under your blessings and getting your wishes on this planet done. Bless my entire team. Bless all of us who work together. Bless Sherly and husband for all that they do in their part of lives. And to their father, to Mr. Rajesh, wherever you are, I hope you are rocking and rolling in heaven. God bless you forever, whatever you've done in your life, and we wish that you're here with us too. Let's rock and roll. When I started Qua Nutrition, I didn't have an idea of what I wanted to do. I knew I had to win Olympic medals with my superstars. Over the years, the mission has changed from winning medals to saving lives. A team of over 200 dietitians today. These are healers and angels of life. I always tell my dietitians that we don't have a job, we have a calling. And one of the calling is to help people understand how nutrition can enable the human body to heal. Today, I have the privilege of sitting down and deep diving into stories at Qua Nutrition. I get goosebumps. I meet people at airports who stop me and say that I've taken a Qua Nutrition plan, and I'm like, somewhere, some person is doing a great job in convincing people to change the way they eat. Without further ado, let's get into today's guests. We will eat to our last breath. But whether you're living to eat or eat to live, that's a question we nutritionists always try and convince, that you need to eat for your body's metabolism, longevity and health. At Qua Nutrition clinics, where I personally practice, I work with a team of amazing medical dietitians. Some of us are into deep dive medical diagnostics, including oncology. Today's episode is about oncology, cancer, and how we worked with one family. And we wanted to take you through this journey on why I keep convincing families that you can screen for cancer. When you get cancer, what is the therapy which parallelly rides with nutrition, and how can people have a better quality of life using nutrition. So today I want to talk to my co-dietitian Reethu, as well as two very personal clients that I know through our family, that's Sherly and Kiran, and we want to understand what was their story. Sherly, thank you so much for being here, and Kiran, for accompanying your wonderful wife here today. It's a difficult journey. It's something very, I would say, not tough, but very few people want to tell the world about what happened in their personal life. And so I want to thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story about your father. So when we look back, is this about 2 or 3 years ago?
Close to 2 years. Yeah,
2 years. So can you take us back to the moment when your father was diagnosed, and how did he react, and how do you all as a family react?
I think it all began in 2023 June, when there was a lot of things that was happening in the family. Mom had fallen down and she was just recovering. She had a fracture in her leg and she was just recovering, and through the whole period we saw a little bit of dad's health deteriorating, as in he always complained of gastritis. So and that started showing up a little bit more in 2023. So he was very scared to go to the doctor.
What were some of the symptoms that he displayed?
I think a lot of it was acid reflux.
Okay.
And it was also, unusual burping. That
Would he take some tablets on his own and all?
yeah.
Was it
It's the
self-prescribed
yes,
medicine?
yes. It's the self-prescribed medicine off the drugstore. Just go and pick it up, and then I'm fine. Take it, and he feels better. So that was what was happening, even before. So yeah, and then in June is when it increased, right?
So and yeah, first of all, thank you for
Yes, thank you so
inviting
much.
us. And yes, like you said, this is something that we wanted to do. So like we were just having a chat with Reethu, saying that what we went through is what we went through, right? So we wanted to bring out, like bring it out to people to say that you don't have to sulk on whatever happened, but to you have options like how you guys ended up. I mean, we guys ended up with you all.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that people had to break. So that's what we thought. Let's be us. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Even if it helps one or two, we're glad that we're here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And coming to the point, to continue to what she was saying. So he had a lot of reflex issues, and then her mom and dad, so they've visited the hospital just to do a normal checkup. So back then the doctor is advised for a endoscopy, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong. But he didn't want it to because he was a little skeptical, and he didn't want it to.
Yeah.
And then when it kind of pushed off to the next level where he couldn't, and so we often visit. So she often visits her place. So and then she was talking about it, and we thought we'll just go ahead and meet a doctor. And then we met. So he said, even he was a little confused with that situation. So because physically he was looking fine.
Yeah.
He wasn't losing weight or anything as such.
But the endoscopy was not done as yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was a resistance from your father-in-law
Yeah.
to do the endoscopy.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to know about it and stuff.
Yes.
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 And so our mom and dad, so they have their own things. So
It's the mentality, right?
Yeah.
It's the
It's like-
way they were also brought up.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. I mean, big deal. Like you said, just go to the medical store, pick a tablet, and you're fine. You move on with your life. But they don't realize the heaviness that comes in later, and so that's what happened with dad. So, and the doctor suggested we do an endoscopy in the month of June. And we did it. I pushed him to. I said, you don't have a choice, but you have to do it because it doesn't look good. So we did an endoscopy, and of course the results didn't come out like we expected it to be. It was cancer. It was stomach cancer. And
And the moment the endoscopy came out, they diagnosed. I think that's the fear for most people.
yes.
That they don't want to discover it. They
Absolutely,
just want to
yeah.
take a pill and see that it goes away.
I was just telling Kiran also when we were on our way, the whole point here, the people get so scared. Dad, for that matter, he was showing all, like, oh, I'm strong, I'm fine, I'm going to work every day and all of that. But the fact when you say, oh, we'll have to go to the hospital and get you checked, I think there's something wrong. I think their mind shuts down there. Like, no, I don't need to.
But was your dad, did his parents and all have some sort of stomach issue, or was this lifestyle related?
Oh, this is completely lifestyle because no one in the family had cancer. Either side, be it mom or dad, no one had cancer. So this is a huge surprise for all of us, because if you had told me diabetes or blood pressure, yeah, okay, but cancer took us all by shock because none of them had it, and it's absolutely lifestyle. And I understood that it was lifestyle after I started talking to both of you. I mean, after we started connecting and after we started spending time like understanding a lot of things, we understood that this is lifestyle. Not many people gave us the answer as to why it happened, but we think we got a lot of clarity after we understood nutrition.
I think, Sherly, what happens in today's world is that the human body requires nutrition to heal it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Then we have high-paced jobs, high-stress jobs, coupled to the fact that a lot of people eat outside food
Yeah.
because of our fast-paced lifestyle. And if you see, even our idli, dosa, sambar that comes from outside versus what we prepare at home,
Yeah.
right? The chutney quality that you prepare at home, I'll give you a simple example. If you take a coriander and moringa chutney, you will wash the leaves.
Yeah.
When you eat it in a restaurant, they will not wash it. So the pesticides and insecticides on the leaves go into your chutney. Now, if you're a person who eats breakfast out every day, see the chemical load of an insecticide, pesticide on your gut lining system.
Yeah.
So I tell people that this is something that, we have to do and we have to change in society. Now, what was the doctor's initial advice that, fine, you got stomach cancer. Did he say anything about changing the diet? Did your father agree on changing diet? What was the story in that department?
Yeah. So once we heard the news, so he broke down. So everybody
Yeah.
was in shock. But there was small hope because what he told us was we can remove part of the stomach where it is affected. So we had to talk to him. This is while we hadn't got the endoscopy, the result
The
yet.
PET scan result.
The PET scan.
The endoscopy. PET scan.
Yeah,
we
the
hadn't
PET
done
scan.
the PET scan.
Yeah, I didn't done the
Yeah.
PET scan as yet.
So
So it's all in the limbo at that time kind of
Yeah.
thing. So we don't know what to do and all.
A lot of confusion.
and
Yeah.
we just had questions. Like
Yeah.
each one had their own questions. And then so we spoke to him, we convinced him. So he said, okay, fine, we'll go ahead with the operation. So we thought that's our thing.
So what did the doctor say after the initial
Yeah.
advice about nutrition? Can he eat what he wanted? And did he discipline your father? No, Mr. Rajesh, you can't eat all of these things and all.
You nailed the first part.
Which was?
The eat what you want.
The doctor said eat what you want?
Yeah.
So that's something, I was not up to it when he said that.
Common sense. Are you a nutritionist? Are you a doctor? So why weren't you up to it?
So my thing was, so for me, I see food as medicine in the sense, few things I think old school, okay, and she calls me old school in a lot of things, okay. I'm like, oh, it's okay, fine, but I am old school in few cases, okay. So I felt so when we had to like you said, if we had time to go back, right? So we kind of figured out what might have gone wrong, okay. His stress, like you said, his food. I prefer a lot of home food. I prefer not organic, but again, to cook at home, like you said, because I know what I'm putting into it. And I don't know, even if it's spoiled, I know I don't take half of it and use it. No, I just chuck it out. So for me, I thought what the doctor's saying was not convincing, but they were not in a mindset to actually think about it. So because obviously daughter, son, wife, they were too emotional and they were overwhelmed with whatever was happening. So I had to step back. So because I saw them all over the place, I had to sit and think, and then we had a long chat. Me and my brother-in-law had a long chat. So for us, we thought, let's not look into the problem, and let's not look into whatever's happening. Let's see what can be done.
So Reethu over here is a trained dietitian in medical nutrition from the University of Glasgow. Reethu, you've handled Mr. Rajesh's case with the family. Talk to us about this whole concept, and let's figure out what you all work together on also.
Yeah, so I will take that question back to Sherly and Kiran, because I think for anybody to sign up for a nutrition plan for cancer, they would think twice.
Yeah.
Nobody is wanting to do something to eat clean or focus on what they're eating, especially when they're battling cancer. So while your dad took up the nutrition plan, Sherly, what was the main reason or what was the driving force behind you guys signing up for this plan? And what took you guys to come here and reach out for this help?
Okay. So, obviously when we heard the news that it was cancer and it was not just in something that you could, do a surgery and do 3 sessions of chemo and get it done with, but it didn't come like that. It came as an advanced stage of cancer. So, again, while we were all in that whole bubble of what to do next, we did have amazing people around us who stood with us and who guided us every step of the way. And one such people are Arun and Yasha, who their mom also went through the same thing, and they said, no, you know what, I'll immediately send all the reports to Ryan, we'll just talk to him and start a plan immediately.
And so we felt, anyways, we're gonna have our chemo and all that. So we said, let the doctors do that part. So when the doctor said, let him eat anything, so we thought we'll do that part. So we'll take up the food part.
Yeah.
So because we need both,
Yeah.
obviously, right? So the medicine as well as food. So we thought we'll focus into food part, the nutrition bit of it. Let the doctor focus on the medicine. So this is what we came up to. Like we kind of like came into a conclusion saying that okay, we'll do that. And that's when Arun and Yasha Didi. So we kind of like got in touch, and then the whole thing started.
Yeah.
And then we got in touch.
You put us on to the best.
So I
One
think
of the
I
best,
texted
yeah.
you first.
So how did Qua happen to both of you, Kiran and Sherly? So did anyone bring you here, or how did you get to know about Qua Nutrition Oncology department?
Yeah, so it was our dear family friends, Arun and Yasha, who introduced us to Qua, and they said, they went through the similar paths, and they received like amazing help.
Great. So it's been about 2 years from our last meeting, Sherly. You and I today know that nutrition has helped Dad. It's helped in various forms for him.
Yeah.
But how did you handle the pressure that came from a third person saying that, you know what, nutrition will do nothing. Just give him what he wants. It could be a family member, it could be a friend of his. How did you handle that situation?
Oh, that came a lot to us. Coming from a background of, big families, get-togethers, eating everything and anything under the sun, it was very difficult to make people understand that, no, he's supposed to be eating healthy. Dad's a foodie.
Yeah, I remember the bun
Yeah.
and the coffee
The
tea
bun,
combination.
the bun, biryani, egg puffs. Oh my, he was like, he would tell you on this street which has the best biryani. So that's the kind of man who didn't eat well at all. So, and for everyone coming to visit him, they're like, no, why are you doing this? Just give this. He can have tea, coffee. He can have a little bit of sugar. It'll give him energy.
I think that's the problem with society today, and sorry I'm intervening. Everyone assumes that they are a world-class nutritionist for medical intervention, including my own mother and your mother also.
Yeah.
Because there are experts in deep dive oncology nutrition, but so Dad must have tried to cheat on his nutrition.
We made the specialist talk about it.
Yeah.
So from Qua, so we pushed him. So we made a video call with her, and then we did that, and then he kind of he was clear in few things.
Yeah.
He got a clarity. So that was our first thing. So
Yeah, I mean, the questions that was asked also during, the interview, like talking to Dad, after the call ended, I clearly remember Dad saying, like, wow, it matters, all of this matters. And I'm like, yeah, even for me, it all matters, right from the time you wake up till like you go to bed, all of that plays such an important role in just treating the disease. It's not an easy thing, but it did matter. So, and he was patiently sitting through the whole thing. I don't know, Reethu, if you remember.
Yeah.
He was patiently sitting through the whole thing, and he was giving his yes and his no. And I think he also told you he likes bread and bun, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he said, anything to do, give me bread and bun in the diet plan. But yeah, that's how it evolved, and it was good. Yeah, it was good.
it was a good start.
It was a good start. Yeah.
After what we went through, we felt we were on the right track, at least for now. So that's how it started.
Yeah.
So speaking of what he liked, right, on the nutrition plan, we made a lot of changes and we added foods that were actually more enjoyable. We swapped some ingredients, of course, out, and we chalked it down, and then he said, I like the meal plan.
Yeah.
He said he was okay eating what we had given. Was there something in the plan that he was enjoying thoroughly or looking forward to eating it and, was like saying that this is nice?
So the best seller was the kokum rasam. He loved the kokum rasam. So I remember you explaining why kokum is so good also for the stomach. It cools the stomach and all of that. And I replaced the tamarind with kokum, and he that was the last thing that he asked me in the hospital. That was the last thing. He's like, tomorrow we're going home and I want you to make the rasam for me. So that's one thing that he loved. He loved the snacks that I would make with makhana, and the other few snacks that you suggested that, that are like alternatives. So the peanut chaat and all of that, which he loved, but giving it to him. And then the mushroom soup. He loved the mushroom soup, and what was the other one? The fish. He loved the fish without just the tamarind and pepper. So all his meals, everything that was mentioned, the tamarind, pepper, ginger being the most important ingredients in all of his meals, which are like really good and all of that. It all became a part of his diet. And something that we both love to say, and something that he says, is that last 1 year was when Dad ate clean, was when he actually ate proper, simple food. Or otherwise, it was just, like you said, it was just work, eat something outside, come back, no proper meal at all. But this was he ate like good home cooked food.
And the plans that you guys made, it was very clear, and
Yeah.
it was not too complicated
Yeah.
to understand or whatsoever. It was very user friendly.
Very true, yeah. And I think it also came out very positive for Dad towards the end. But during that entire course of nutrition plan that he was on, did he ever snap out and say, just let me eat what I want and let me eat for my comfort and,
Yeah, he did.
that
He
sort of
did.
situation.
A lot of times he did. He's like, please, just this one, just the toast. And remember, I asked you, Ritu, can I give him Bombay toast? Because he loves Bombay toast. And I was like, okay, just once, but I don't want to do it. And then I didn't. So I tricked him to do, to something else. And then which he was like, oh wow, this toast is really nice. And I'm like, oh, thank God it worked. So it was something else that I did. I baked at home and gave it to him. So
I think one point that I want to convey to the world out there is that the families go through the highest amount of stress, and there is a psychological stress on just one time let this person feel happy because they're suffering.
Yeah.
Right? What is it that an egg puff or a toast will do damage? But we do know medically that one exposure to gluten can upset the microvilli for up to 11 days.
wow.
So, like I'll give you a simple example. If you have loose motions, you're not good till about 3-4 days later. So you have to eat light for 2 to 3 days. Now somebody with cancer of the gut is taken chemotherapy, is damaged. So psychologically, what do we look at? We look at comfort from our loved ones. We look at food from our loved ones. And food is something that is a temporary but very quick release. Like you get, oh, this is so amazing, this is so lovely. So I think that is the difficult part for loved ones. The ability to say, no, I can't give this to you.
So Sherly and Kiran, what were the bigger positive changes that you saw in Dad's health over the course of the nutrition plan? And even after you finished, right? You kept following through some of the guidelines we gave you. How did you see things improve, and what were some of the positives that you want to pick out?
The first thing was he went back to work. That's what drove him. That's what made him do everything. Like, oh, I understand the children are asking me to do this. They're asking me to take this, the supplements. And I was telling him also, Dad loved his vitamin Ds. He's like, oh, this is like really amazing. It gives me the energy that I need. And so he would faithfully do it. There would be a day that I would forget, and he'd be like, you forgot to give me the syrup. I was like, yes, coming. And so that indirectly drove him. So he's like, oh, now focus is on work. And he went to work. Even after chemo, about 5 days after chemo, he would pick up his bag and go to work. So that's one of the positive things that we saw. He didn't sulk. He didn't go into a corner, He didn't go to that low phase or anything. But he just pulled himself back up and he went.
So to add on to that, the initial positive change that we saw, what we saw is it was not just a change in him, but the family also.
Yeah.
With the nutrition, so the family started to adapt to whatever the nutrition plan was saying, right? So because that was the first major thing for us to break, and then everybody started adapting to that, and everybody welcomed the nutrition.
Yeah.
So that was a major change, is what I saw.
So what you're saying is not only did Sir eat that food, you all also began to adapt the same
Yes.
healthier food in the
Yes,
life. As a
honestly.
family, do you all eat healthier now?
Yes, yes, we do. Without a doubt, we do. Without a doubt, we do. No, but yes, we do. I mean, it's so we saw it, we understood, and I think it's like super important for us to just apply it every single day. You know, major part of our body gets its nutrition from food. That's what Ritu always says. You know, it gets its nutrition from food, and just see, the fact that we know something about for example, the curcumin levels in the turmeric is not something that I learned on my own. Maybe, yeah, he does a lot of research, but I got that knowledge from her. You know, and the fact that why omega-3, you know, why the acidophilus, the uh, tablet, the supplement,
Lactobacillus.
lactobacillus, yes. Why all of that? You know, it's not just necessary. So to make dad understand that, daddy, this is not your allopathy medicine, you know, tablets that you're putting in your mouth. This is food for you, for your body, you know, that you need more of this good nutrition in your body. And so, yeah, I remember he liked the acidophilus also. So,
It made him feel good once.
made
he
him
took it
feel
mentally
good,
as well.
yeah.
In fact, there is so much of research on lactobacillus acidophilus and GI gut distress, and there is actually a rat study on cancerous ulcers, on how rats were given lactobacillus acidophilus, and there's reversible process also. So obviously you look at lactobacillus acidophilus found in curd. And then when you do a food intolerance test and a person's allergic to dairy, you can't give them natural curd.
Yeah.
But you can take a capsule
Correct.
and take the power of the lactobacillus and put it in your nutrition oncology plan.
Yeah.
So that's what a medical dietitian does. And by the way, whatever advice you probably give doesn't subscribe to every other patient. It's very bio-individual.
Yeah.
So I think the first diet plan that was given by Qua. So after a certain amount of chemo session, so we had to do a PET scan. So that's our PET scan after the chemo along with the nutrition food, right? So before we could get the results, so our talk was like this: said, even if it is 1%, that means we're heading in the right direction. So let's not slide back of whatever's happening. But we saw a major change. Even the doctor was surprised to see. He said, "Okay, this is a good report."
Yeah.
So that's after the first plan.
When I started the oncology division of diet, this is what we knew that happens in science, but nobody is practicing it.
Yes.
So you need real life scenarios to see that it's working, and yours is not the first case where doctors are genuinely surprised that something is working. Food and nutrition medically planned has a massive impact, including removing people from the deathbed.
Yeah.
We believe in that.
Yeah, we believe
How
in that,
fast
yeah.
you start is the important thing. How quick you detect is important. But a lot of people, and especially the patient, also themselves think when the doctor says, you eat whatever you want, then they are latching on to that statement. Versus the whole family is like peanuts, makhana, lactobacillus, curcumin, all healthy, and then the patient like, anyway, I have to go.
Yeah.
So sometimes there's a defeatist attitude in the patient.
Yeah.
And it's very important for family members to be double strong.
But I feel that it comes from the doctors when they say you can eat whatever you want to eat.
And I
What-
think the pushback, Kiran, has to come from the family, and that's what you all did also.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the fact that you said if there's even 1% improvement, we
Yeah.
will continue and we will not give up the nutrition journey. A lot of people don't have that pathway of an idea to proceed on. It's like, we spend so much of money, so the food is expensive, the supplements are expensive, the cost of a medical dietitian is expensive, there is chemotherapy, drugs, this is just so much of cost. Maybe we can cut out the food part.
Yeah.
Because it's psychologically painful, and from a capital point of view is also painful.
I would rather do the food part and cancel the chemo.
And you know what? A lot of the world is moving in that direction.
Yeah.
They are moving with very aggressive immunotherapy, very aggressive diet therapy, fasting. as a therapy. But again, no one size fits all of an internet podcast.
Yeah.
It's very, you look at the case, you look at with the medical condition, the oncology doctor, you look at it with the whole team around that person. But I think Reethu's done an amazing job on the diet plan for many oncology patients.
Yes, very grateful for that.
No, we were very happy, especially in the time that you reached out second time for the help, Shirley. That's when we realized that, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
We've done that positive
Yeah.
change, and you see that hope. So
Yeah.
it brings you back to us, right? So beyond anything, if you have that one message to send to the society and say that this is the positive impact it had on your life or on Dad's life, what would that be?
Get yourselves checked early. It's very important to get yourself checked early. I mean, we did the mistake of putting it off. We did the mistake of like, okay, just another day, he'll overcome it, give him a little bit of buttermilk, it's all fine. Little did we know that this kind of a mentality led to such a huge thing. Yeah, this came at the like I said, earlier, this came at the cost of a lot of sacrifices, a lot of misunderstanding within, the family, or just a lot of sacrifice that we had to make at work, or even just, I was away from Kiran and was with my parents for the last 1.5 years. They was extremely supportive, my in-laws and him, they were extremely supportive and understanding, be like, yes, you need to be there. Not many people have that opportunity, right? Not many people can see it that way, but get it done early, and be at the right place at the right time, with the doctors and with the people who can push you in the right direction.
What enamored you? I know enamored is a wrong word. What stood out on the Qua's approach for your dad?
I think right from the start, the call was what took me by shock. I had the mentality that it was only certain places would ask you all of these questions, like the Ayurvedic places and all. But asking all of these questions, how is his sleep? Does he toss a lot in the sleep? How is his eating? How's his mood during the day? I'm like, every little thing matters, You didn't ask me immediately like, okay, Shirley, so this is cancer, so we're going to treat only cancer. We're only going to give you food for cancer. No, but her approach was so amazing that it touched every little point that your body needs. It's right from the head to the toes. Every single cell, right, needs that attention. So, and I love that approach. And I love that we gave importance to the important blood parameters like your vitamins and other magnesium and all of that it was given attention to, and because that changed, a lot of every other parameter in his liver, in his kidney changed. So I really like the detailed version of the approach.
detailing towards the questions that were shot to us.
Yeah.
And we had so many questions saying, okay, if we can fix this, we can fix this, we can fix this. we can
Yeah.
fix this. But there were so many other questions that normal people can't think of.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you guys make a difference. So I feel people who are actually going through stuff like this have to break that, like they shouldn't be with all these stereotypical questions that they have, like always stuck to that. I think they should be more open-minded to step forward.
Yeah.
It's okay. If you think you're going to lose him, it's okay. So why don't you try this? You're not going the wrong direction, right? So I feel the detailing towards the questions that was asked and the points that was touched, right? So obviously we will never see. We think of cancer. The cancer is related to the stomach, and that's it. What about other parts?
Yeah.
Obviously, we will not think all that. Any common man wouldn't do that. Like wouldn't think that way, right?
Yeah.
I think they should approach to people like you all, be it Qua or anybody who's good in nutrition. I feel they have to break that, and then they should be open to accept it also.
I think medical therapeutic intervention or medical nutrition therapy, very few people, including doctors, have a trust. In fact, I want to take you back to when you said that there was an improvement in the PET scan. When I looked at the PET scan, it was like almost a 75% plus improvement. Now, that's proof in the pudding. Although we
Yeah.
didn't give your dad pudding,
Yeah.
right? How did the family celebrate that improvement? Like, it would have been there, right? It's like an hallelujah moment, right?
Yeah.
So doctors normally are like, okay, we'll get some improvement with the chemotherapy and all. But how was it celebrated?
I remember sitting when we got the PET scan. I remember sitting between mom and dad, and I didn't want to reveal a lot of things to them because it'll bring his morale down. But I just sat between them and I said, "Do you see this scan? Do you see this scan that looks like a Christmas tree lit up? Now you see this," and they were in shock to see that. It was reduced like by 75%, and they were like, how? How? I said, yeah, Dad, because you ate good food. You gave yourself that importance. You listened to me finally. So, and
Did he acknowledge that at least?
oh,
That
he
is-
did. He
that,
did.
that the food,
Yes,
the
yes,
discipline?
yes, he did.
Did
He
that
said-
also, after coming out of that PET scan, did he then show renewed vigor to eating more discipline?
Yes, it changed. It changed his mentality to, like, every time I would say, okay, Dad, today, we'll get something for you. And like, no, why? I want to eat what's at home. I'm okay. Why don't you make this for me? Why don't you make that for me? That changed actually a lot. So from where he started to say, can I eat this here? That mindset absolutely changed for him. So towards the end, he was like, no, I just want to eat food at home. I just want to enjoy meal at home, nothing else.
Somewhere in his case file, I read that he paused the chemo for a while. What was that story?
So, chemo takes a toll, right? It takes a toll
Can
on...
you tell us what happened with you all as a family? Like, you didn't do the chemo, but you
Yeah.
could see it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what did you see?
Absolutely painful, Ryan. It was very painful to watch him go through chemo. I thought chemo would be like, oh, send them in a huge machine inside and they'll insert like a lot of drugs. But it was just a day with drugs, the medicines going in. And the next day onwards, after the first chemo, I remember Dad just so exhausted. That is the one thing that he complained towards the end. He's like, he would be so exhausted. And I remember him falling on my shoulder. Never have I ever seen Dad do that. Dad's always like, even if he was sick, pop in a tablet, go to work that day. Once he met with an accident in 2022, a pretty bad one that hit his hip. He woke up, got up, sat on the bike and went to work. He didn't even tell us that he met with a terrible accident. And we caught him because he was limping. That's that kind of a man, just, falling, putting his head on my shoulder. And he's like, I cannot take this. I cannot take this. You have no idea what... Every layer of my skin, underneath my skin, I can feel the pain. That's one thing that he said.
Did you think that when he was doing the diet plans, like he felt a lot of pain and all, did he want, we do a nutrition plan, one nutrition plan, then the second nutrition. So we see the scenario, chemo, no chemo. Did he voluntarily say that,
Yeah,
can
he
we
did.
get the next nutrition plan?
Yes, he did. When we stopped the chemo and he did not want to go forward with it. And the one thing I remember sitting next to him and I'm like, Daddy, what do you want us to do next? You tell me what you want. He said, give me the syrup. Give me the syrup and give me the white tablet. He couldn't talk. He was too exhausted. He said, so I was like, okay, so do you want me to talk to Reethu and, can we take another diet plan? And he just nodded his head and he said yes. So he believed that, just eating and taking in all of that is giving him that energy. So let me take that itself.
I remember when you first met me after a year after he passed, you said that, and you were very emotional when you met me that time. You said doctor gave him 3 to 4 months only to live.
Yeah.
But he lived for a year.
Yeah.
Was the doctor surprised, and how did nutrition impact those extra months?
Yeah. Would you like to add the 3 to 4 months?
That was a surprise for everybody, so including the doctor. So when we saw the first PET scan after the nutrition, along with the chemo, so we didn't celebrate, but we felt like our prayers have been answered, and then we thought we were on the right direction, and then because apart from the chemo, there was no medicines that he was on. It was just food.
And no medical advice by the hospital
Yeah.
on the diet, right?
Yeah.
So also when we wanted to talk to doctor about the nutrition thing, so I was a little we had a thing saying that they're not gonna like give more importance to that part, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you all don't have to hold back, or you can just give him whatever he wants. So, and then we stopped talking about food,
To them.
nutrition, anything related apart from the chemo. We never spoke to the doctor about it. We thought we'll handle it.
I think, Kiran, Sherly, what I want to communicate to you and the rest of the world is this, that it is expensive from a time point of view to discuss food, the number of hours. Now, if you look at a hospital and a doctor running in, the amount of counseling time required is extremely expensive, and therefore they don't factor that into the chemotherapy and the cancer treatment. But otherwise, if they did, so first is a conviction, second is a cost. So these two C's are very, very impactful. And for me as a nutritionist at the Quanutrition clinics is that how can we change this narrative? Sitting down, and I'm really grateful for both of you because we have had thousands of patients in different medical communities, but nobody wants to come up and talk about it to the public. That yes, you should explore this. It has a power, but just knowing that your father lived a few months extra, I genuinely believe that whatever you all did was really, really good.
Yeah.
If he was watching this podcast, then what would you like to say to him? What would you want him to know?
Oh,
I
that
go first.
you can go first. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously two things. One is that we miss him and we love him.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. I promised I wouldn't do this, but yeah. He would be definitely super proud of how far he's come, and he can definitely vouch in and say that I did eat good food towards the end.
I think you guys being here is his message.
Yeah.
Because you made a point that you said that if he got out of this, he'd do something for the children.
Yeah.
And I think that's the message that we want to take to the world,
Yeah.
which is, can we not doubt nutrition as a healing mechanism for the human race? And we should not eat like from an animal brain point of
Yeah.
view. We should eat from a logical, scientific. After all, it's
Absolutely.
2025 today.
Yeah.
AI has come in and it's
absolutely.
telling us how to get things better,
Yeah.
might change our life. So this has been a deep dive, and I want to dig a little bit deeper in terms of, we asked what would be your message to your father, but if he was around, and you know your father better than anybody else, and I'm sure, I always tell my father is an influencer.
Yeah.
They never had social media,
Yeah.
but they're influencers in their own right, in their church, in their community, in the
Absolutely.
neighborhood. Uncle will be there at the gate telling the next door neighbor what's happening.
Yeah.
What would your father say to somebody who thinks food can't fight cancer? What would he say?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he would definitely walk up to them and say, first go get yourself checked, and just to quote him, or to make him, what he would actually say, would say, go to Reethu, because he knows Reethu. So he thinks Rithu's a doctor. So he's like, go to Reethu, first class food, first class medicine. So the plan that we received from the hospital compared to the plan that we received from you, 1 page versus 23 pages. Where's that? So he would definitely be like all for it, 100%. He would say give up on the biryani also, I guess.
He would definitely say that, like, you eat right, you will not be where
Yes.
I am right now.
And that's something that Dad said also. He's like, I wish I had taken care of myself. I wish I'd listened to you much earlier.
There's so many people watching this video right now, knowing that somebody is suffering with cancer, right? So what's that one message you would want to put across to the world?
Don't delay. Just be there. Be there for them. take them in the right direction. And there's so much of knowledge, there's so much of information out there. And we've told you, we've given enough of what food can do, right? What food medically uh, noted, seen, done food can do, right? So don't delay. Don't think that food will not do anything, please. Food can change and reverse anything and everything. And
so
don't delay, yeah.
So I come across this a lot. Okay, so when I eat, I normally eat like normal food. You know, even if it is biryani, curd, rice, and everything, I eat in portion control, but I eat. So, in people's point of view, it's like, are you on diet? Like I'm not. I'm eating everything which is here. So I think that has to be broken, because for people, right? So say if you want to take coffee or a tea, so if you say green tea, they'll be like, are you on diet? You know, so it's a very simple thing, right? Eat home food. I'm dead against all these aerated drinks and all that. I don't. But when I say that, they'll be like, are you on diet? No. I would rather go for a lime juice or water, you know. So I feel simple food will keep you away from all the risks that's out there. You know? Like, I remember, see, when I grew up, right, I'm pretty sure that's how the 90s kids would have grown up. Eating outside is like a huge thing. And it'll be once in a month or once in 2 months or something like that. And your non-veg consumption will be only on Sundays.
That's true.
If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Right? That's a very simple way. That's how we were brought up. That's what a common thing, you know, that people don't think that way. So I feel like if you eat at home or eat outside once in a while, people feel that you're on a diet. But no, that's the normal way you live, right? So that's something I wanted to put it out, you know, because I get this a lot everywhere. But places where I travel to, I obviously wanted to taste. For example, if I'm traveling somewhere else, right, I want to taste how they make it and stuff like that. But again, I keep it to my limit. So, and also, my first meal. So this is not by choice. So my first meal will be at 2 o'clock.
So, Sherly, as the daughter who loved her father, as the daughter who took care of her father, as the son-in-law who watched the pain and the trials and tribulations, how can listeners honor this story in their own life? What message would you like to give to people who are listening in this far on the podcast?
I would like to say two things. One is from my point of view, as the daughter's point of view. It's difficult to watch your loved one go through what they're going through. But now that it's, in that season, in that phase, I would have loved my dad to listen to me first. Saying, yes, okay, I will trust in what you're saying. So, that listen to us. It's not like we're going to do something random, or we are, as much as they took care of us, as much as they looked into the details of what is the best that we need, when it comes to giving it back to them, we will also, look into giving what's best for you. So, I would want to say that keep don't think that you're a burden, especially the parents, if there are parents watching, please don't hide what you're going through. It's okay to tell. I really want parents to stop thinking that they're burdening their children. So it's not a burden for us to take care of you. It is definitely not. We love them for what they've done. So we are here. It's not tiring. It's not going to take a toll on us. We just want to see you live long and live happy, and doing it wise. That's all. And yeah, I mean, it's like a cycle, right? So they parent us, we grow up, and then now it's time that we parent them. So we become the parents to the parents. So
I think that's a very difficult concept for a lot of parents to take.
Yeah.
That the children have to take care of the parents, and the parents' ego has to now change from I have to listen to my child.
Yes, very true.
To add on to the same line, I think the conversations within the family should be open. So I've come across people who actually share their burden or their hurt to people outside, which by the time it reaches the family, it's too late.
Yeah.
So, like we share our good memories, I think it's the family that you have to be open about what you're going through, especially with the children and the parents. So I think that has to be more. It's okay to be practical. So it's okay to. To share what you're going through to your loved one. So who else, if not for your parents or for your children? So they're going to stand with you no matter what. I feel they have to break that. They have to be open about whatever they're going through. So on similar lines, me and my mother, we have this arguments, if she goes through something, she kind of like waits until it gets worsened. So obviously I yell at her. I say, don't do that. It's okay. Even if I have money, no money, that's okay. That's not your problem. But don't take it to that level. Whatever it is, even if it's a small prick that you're going through, it's okay. Even if I yell at you saying that it was because of that, please be open to me.
Yeah.
So that we know where we are. So we can either as a son I can guide you, or as a parent you can guide me if I'm wrong in some places. So one is that I feel prevention is
better than cure. Yeah.
And I think one part of prevention, if I can summarize and wrap up today, is that nutrition can heal even when you're not sick.
Yeah.
Longevity comes with better nutrition, and cancerous cells are the body having a breakdown mechanism on the rejuvenation process. Cells go berserk. And I think today's story about your dad is something that we want to take out and play it to the world.
Yeah.
The whole puzzle over here actually is this, that we eat out of love and culture. We've never been taught to eat scientifically. And I believe if families at an early on stage learn to eat with a little bit of science, then you can maintain the love and culture of nutrition into your final years of your life. Because there has been some semblance and sprinkling of science in it. So a simple example could be, there is a herb called purslane, and it has the highest amount of glutathione in it. It grows as a wild shrub. There is tulsi, which has amazing immunity properties. And there's turmeric that you learned from Reethu, having curcumin. So we've been using haldi in all of our lives. But what if this tulsi, this purslane and turmeric come together in an energy shot every morning? That's science. So I think people need to begin to look at roti, kapda, makan in a little better light in 2025. Can I find science? And can I find meaning to the way I eat? Not eat with just what we call as taste bud abandon.
Yeah.
And so therefore you'll never be on a diet.
Yeah.
If you've liked this podcast this far and you want to know more, or you wish to share your story, then I'm putting a link down in the description for you to reach out to us. At the Qua Nutrition clinics where me and over 200 of my colleagues practice, Reethu is available as an oncology specialist, as is over a dozen other dietitians. We help people in their journey. And if you do want to reach out to Kiran and Sherly, we'll find a way for you to get your message across to them, because they have been magnanimous and wonderful enough to share their story. We've never had people share painful medical stories with us because nobody wants to relive that pain. And for that, I am eternally grateful to both of you, because this has not been easy. And I wouldn't do this because it would relive a lot of pain. And I'm just so grateful that you
Yeah.
did this today.
Thank
you
you.
so much for doing this.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ritu.
Thank you so much.
And I got to say a big thank you to you, Reethu, because it's not easy. In fact, I used to handle a lot of cancer cases initially, and as we grew the company, it is one of the most difficult cases to handle, because one is knowing the science, which we know very well, but there is an intricate bond that is formed with the family, which is psychological, and that takes a toll sometimes
Yeah.
on a person's not only soul but even health. So thank you for what you do also.
No,
Yeah.
thank you for giving us the opportunity to work
Yes.
on this beautiful journey, Sherly. And Ryan, like you said, you build that emotional connect with the family. And I'm so grateful for knowing people like them in our lives, which give us a chance to spread the news to the world
Yeah.
and bring a hope to everybody's life.
Absolutely.
To all the dietitians and all the nutritionists and all the healers and all the doctors out there, if you have a chance to change somebody's life, please do it, because karma is amazing and it comes back to you tenfold. God bless.